those bloody ones. Go on Facebook, okay? At least all of you should have your own socials, right? Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, type in Kenya protests, or better still, hashtag reject finance bill 2024. You will see videos. So the vandalism sort of has escalated all over the country. The shootings are not just in Nairobi anymore. Okay, they have moved to Mombasa. They have moved. This is another one there called Angono, Guthai. Do I pronounce that right? Let me see it again. Right. I'll show you the clips. In one of the hospitals, taking in bodies of those rushed there. I'm talking about those who are already killed. They put this up. 157. A tag on a corpse. Now, there are more yet to be discovered, right? They said that the protesters were looting. That's not true, right? The police, to make it valid why they are bringing in police, military, right? The policemen started breaking into stores. Some of them were caught like this. You see the image on the left? Those were supposed to be the anti-riot policemen making away, caught on on a camera, right? Making away with a smarter TV. You see the picture on your right? This was where they placed two snipers, two shooters, right? Overseeing the National Assembly complex. And from the reports, out of those killed, 3 or 4 of them had their brains blown up. And that is believed to have been the impact of the gunshot from the snipers from a very far away. Women are already cursing. They are out. Like, I'll show you part of that today. But the man that once told the Kenyans that Kenya is protected by God has now been confirmed to be a murderous. Add the rest to it too. Ruto, during the campaigns.
Power is transient, and the people of Kenya will overcome. We will not submit to your threats and blackmail. We will not bow to you. We will not worship you. We worship the living God in heaven. We worship no human being.
It was their favorite. How did they lose all of that goodwill in 2 years? I have an answer. He befriended the West. Everything he rejected with Kenyans, these young Kenyans that are now protesting, everything he rejected with them. Everything he made them believe that were, were against their future. And they believed him. He went on to befriend them. Started taking more taxi. Started taking more loans. Editing their tax collection. Like he helped their taxes. Over taxation. People said no. Ruto said, fuck all. And right now, he's now calling the same people that thought they were standing behind somebody who was against the establishment. He was a lawyer that stands for human rights. This guy was, from his record, they said this guy was doing pro bono cases for poor people. But he's also a friend of the rich. Not that he was poor himself. He's part of them. But he presented himself as somebody who has much sympathy towards the poor or the ordinary people in Kenya. And they believed him. About 2 years after, he is now killing them. People are asking him to continue to show strength. There are military everywhere. Let's go to Kenya quickly before we come back to Nigeria. By the way, that first video is one of the youth smoking the tear gas. As much as a lot of people have seen that video gone viral, that is so dangerous. It is smoking tear gas.
They are shooting.
Live bullets in Githurai, live bullets. Thika Road is closed. Thika Road has been shut down. They're shooting live bullets. Automatic machine gun fire. There's automatic machine gun fire. That's a convoy. That's a convoy that you can see in front of me of several military vehicles and some fire trucks. They're approaching Githurai roundabout. The road has been closed for some time. We just got out of town. It's on lock. There's drama. Kenya's on fire.
Hakuna kitu nimefanya nini? Hakuna kitu nimechoma. Sasa niko na risasi. Hizo. Live bullet. Hizo. Wamenipiga risasi for nothing. Kama hazina ni gari mimi niko na kitu nimefanya mimi. Hakuna. Tunapigania peace. Lakini wamenipiga hizi risasi gapi? 1 2 3 happy. I'm ready to die because of Kenyans. I'm ready to die. They want to kill me. Come and kill me. I'm ready to die, man. Mimi niko na lolote, nitakufa siku moja. Siku moja ndio nitakufa, siogopi kukufa.
What?
Ishwara analia mahali sasa hivi. Teko bie, hii inaweza bado kwenda.
Hata uchungu mwingi sana wakati hii. Afadhali mungenipeleka pale kwa mili ya watoto ya mama.
They moved military to some neighboring states, sort of, right? County and all that. They moved them in who are very close to Nairobi, right? But in Nairobi, the shooting was done during the day, okay? And when the policemen needed justification for some of this as well, they started breaking into shops, opening them up. Shops that are already shut up. They started opening them up, right? Looting them, attracting other members of the protesters to join them so that they can use that and say, well, this is it now. We are declaring a national emergency. And they did declare a national emergency. But for these women, you may not understand the language, okay? They were practically just saying, Ruto is a murderer, and they wish that his plane will catch fire, among others. Watch this.
Media watoto ya mama. Watoto ya Ruto wamekufa. Mnasuia wabunge 28, mnaua watoto 500. Hiyo moyo nani atalipa? Ama damu ijatosha kukunywa na Ruto duniani? Hajatosha damu. Alitumaliza Eldoret. Mimi ni mmoja wa kumalizwa Eldoret. Tena anatufuata mpaka huku. Lakini ni ubaya yetu sababu tuliambia na hatukusikia. Ruto aambiwe finance bill si kubwa kuliko watoto. Yes. Finance bill si kubwa kuliko dunia. Na ajue sasa hii ni mwanzo. Hajawamaliza. Wako uhai na wamebaki wengi kuliko wale ameua. Hasikii hata huruma aone watoto ya watu wa jamani. Ruto ni nini anataka? Msimuniambia hata nyinyi.
Anataka tuishe.
Si ana uwezo wa kusema now finance bill isiende na hiyo vita ikuishe. Anasema iendelee. Naye wabunge wananunuliwa kama wanawake. Wabunge ya Kenya wamekuwa wanawake. Si hata afadhali tuvae suruali sisi wa mama. Mimi nimesikia uchungu surely. Mimi hata afadhali muniue muache watoto.
The young generation.
Afadhali mtuue sisi wase. Mmetuashia nani? Sasa huyo kijana amekufa hapo. Mama yake amewashwa na nani? Ama baba yake. Akituua ataongoza nani shaitani? Ngoja niwashe kuongea. Mungu ni ambaye ninaomba. Uchomee Ruto dege juu. Ungoja uonge. Mungu ninaomba.
I'm so disappointed with this government. Yale tumeona leo hapa Kenyatta ni mambo ya maajabu. It's like a massacre to our children. Ruto, why are you killing our children? Kwa nini unaua watoto wetu, Ruto? This is a massacre for our children. You have decided to kill our children. You'll also die one day. Our prayer, we were not voting for you to come and finish us. Umetumaliza na njia zote, Ruto. Umetumaliza kibiashara. Umetumaliza na kila kitu. Watoto wetu hawasomi. Tunakuja hapa hospitali. NHF umetumalizia. Hatujui unataka kutupeleka wapi, Ruto. But one thing I would tell you, I will address you as Ruto. Wachana na watoto wetu. Demonstration ya watoto wetu, it was peaceful. Awache watoto wetu wa demonstrate na wasikize. Finance bill hakuna kitu inamaanisha kwa hii nchi. Sio hiyo kubwa kuliko sisi, ama sio kubwa kuliko wazazi ama watoto. Kwa hivyo aseme no, we are saying no to that financial bill. Hatuitaki. Ajue hivyo watu wote hawaitaki, na si ukabila, sio Mkikuyu ama Mjaluo ama Mluya ama Mkamba ama Mtaita. Ni sisi wote tumesema no to the finance bill. Ajue hivyo. Thank you very much. Anapiga watoto wetu risasi kama wanyama. Vile tumeona na Kenyatta National Hospital today. I don't know what to say. It's just a massacre for our kids. Hiyo ni massacre ya Kenya. Hiyo ameanza massacre Kenya. Na pia yeye ajue pia yeye ni binadamu na hata yataenda chini. Hiyo sasa ndio tunamwombea kwanza. Aende. Tuliambiwa na Uhuru tutalia, na ni kweli leo tunalia. Uhuru alituambia na leo tunalia. Aende huko kwao.
mili ya watoto ya mama. Watoto ya
Mothers came out to speak in that very strong video that you watched. Why are you killing our children? Why are you massacring Kenyans? We didn't vote for you to come and kill our children. You too will die someday, right? What about your children? You're protecting your children. You keep your children away. All of you are keeping your children away. And then you are sending your army and all that to kill our children. I love that. And that's a very powerful message. I hope the world is watching, indeed. I hope the world is watching. Because one of the military guys or the policemen they sent out to clamp down on the protesters, right? He didn't know his own brother was among the protesters. They were shooting, they were doing all they were doing. And suddenly he realized that his own brother is one of those killed. He lost it right away. He resigned right on the protest ground. I'll show you. That's how horrible the effect of all of this. Every minute is claiming his victim. People are being intimidated. Kenyans are being told, don't burn your country by voluntary slaves from other African countries, especially Nigeria. Kenyans, don't listen to Nigerians that are supporting you online. No African country is going to take refugee. I want with a refugee. We know the IDP. Millions of refugees, 140 something million refugees. Una be refugee in your own country anyway. So yeah. So they are already spreading the fear, the same fear that the Kenyan politicians are spreading. Baba, the voluntary slaves in Nigeria are finding means to drop it inside. Obey your leaders. Don't listen to this or that. Anyway, the victims are piling, indeed. And I feel sorry for this guy. He broke down. He dropped all his whatever, and he was like, no, I'm done. That's my brother. Why? Why would we do this? Among others, right? So let's go back to Kenya again. There's actually one I needed to tell you. And that one is that while we were watching the peaceful protesters yesterday being shot at, blood everywhere, then they took over the parliament. You know what else happened? The lawmakers, how did they escape? Why did the people breach the barrier and broke into the parliament? It was because despite weeks of protest, online and offline, telling these politicians not to pass this law, this IMF-backed policy, please don't pass it. You're going to push 40% Kenyans into poverty. Don't do this. While they were outside, the lawmakers or the lawbreakers, the criminals inside the National Assembly of Kenya, they passed the bill. So it was now for them to go and give it to Ruto to sign. That was when the protesters broke the barrier and they gained access in. They didn't steal, they didn't loot anything other than their food. The one they found at their cafeteria. Seriously, food. That's the most they took. But how did the lawmakers escape? Some of them who could run managed to get through an underground tunnel under the National Assembly. Others, they hid inside ambulances to escape. But while some escaped, some were not so lucky. Now watch this.
Tajua mjui. Tajua mjui. Munabebwa na ambulance. Munabebwa na ambulance. Munabebwa na ambulance. Tajua mjui. Tajua mjui. Tajua mjui. Tajua mjui.
Chaka bwana.
Mimi ni Reverend Dennis Mtambo Pasweti, mchungaji wa kanisa la Sameta Mission PAG. Nimefurahi kuingia hapa bungeni siku ya leo.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Nichukue uniform nipelekea polisi. Niwaambia kutoa kitani. Publicly. Because of nonsense ya bullets. Kutoa kitani. Kutoa kitani. Kutoa kitani. Publicly. Kutoa kitani. You even killing your own. Killing your own. Yes. But you need no, kill their own. See what the government is doing to you. You're killing your own brothers, your own family members. Let's go to Kenyatta Hospital. Let me back from the see my blood. Then I just take the uniform off and give it to you. Police, let's go. Hello? Hello? Hello, Ethan. Buya? Buya? Buda teko risasi.
Bata amesurvive. Ni msitu
Amesurvive. Hospitali yake yeye. Hata ngochi kamera ndikitika nduhu nitaonekana kwa video hapo kwa katika ni kama mwana wetu na asili.
Nawaambia tu sahihi.
Ilikuwa hospitali gani? Labda tuliza
ambulance.
tuliza ambulance. Kuja tu.
Najua
So you saw that. That was from Kenya. A lot is happening right now that we are here catching up on what happened earlier. So definitely we're going to go back to Kenya later this evening as well, because I have just been told that Ruto, despite those bragging yesterday, is not considering signing the bill. And if he doesn't sign it, then it's worthless. And all of this could probably just go away. And Kenya, this time around, Ruto would have to tell Kenyans that he's terminating all of this bromance between himself and this Western puppets. You know what they said about World Bank and IMF? World Bank and IMF don't put out fire. They set it. And that is why when you relate with them, except for this, your greed, the African leaders or dealers, World Bank is of no good to anyone. From the time immemorial, they've never been. They will never be. They do not put out fire. Whether it is the fire on insecurity or fire on economy, fire on your purchasing power and all that. IMF, World Bank, whatever they offer, Bill Gates and co, whatever they offer, they are not offering them to put out a fire. It is actually to set up a fire. Let's talk about fire. When last night, there is this report that there was a bomb blast in Rivers State. It is not a political bomb blast, a real bomb, or just call it an explosion. This lady reported that. Hear it. Let's go back to Rivers State, Nigeria now.
If you recall, earlier today, being Tuesday, the 25th of June 2024, we made a call from the River State government alerting all medical facilities, both public and privately owned facilities in the state, about a failed attempt to detonate an explosive at the Hotel Presidential axis of the state. The reason for that was for them to be vigilant with a heightened sense of alert and high index of suspicion should any individual present at any of the medical facilities with an injury suggestive of a traumatic amputation of an upper limb. And so following from that call, our medical facilities in the state were on a heightened sense of alert. And so when a young man was brought to the River State University Teaching Hospital with alleged injuries sustained during what was said to be a road traffic accident, the medical personnel that were on hand to examine him and offer medical care were on alert and immediately recognized that the injuries that were seen on this individual were not in tandem with a road traffic accident and rather resembled injuries that would have come from blast. The individual was taken to the theater for immediate resuscitation because as at the time he was brought in, he was semi-conscious. But the medical personnel did the needful and immediately informed the River State government, immediately informed the Commissioner for Police in River State and the River State Ministry of Health about the presence of that individual in the facility, even when providing emergency medical care to revive and resuscitate him. He is currently stable. We are working in tandem with the River State Police Command, and so the hospital has been fully secured. The premises and the perimeter have been fully secured. The patient is undergoing current medical treatment. He is stable, and the police is doing their own part with carrying out the necessary investigations. And so in this manner, we just seek to inform the public that this is the update following the earlier events of today in Port Harcourt. Thank you. Several individuals brought the patient. One is still with him, and all the others immediately found their way out of the facility. But of course, like I said, we are working with the Nigerian police force and they will be carrying out their own investigative role.
Thank you.
Bomb blasts or a blast. They had they got an intel that some people are planning to bomb some health facilities in River State. And then later in the day, okay, it's supposed that the victim of